everybody. Rabbi Bill Hamilton here. Nice to be with you, Talia, and Rabbi David Starr.
Hi.
And we're missing Rabbi EBC this week, but we're thrilled to be able to talk about clothing, fashion, and the ways in which the things we wear, in many ways, define us, alter us, and even extend us. I'm thinking specifically about the portion this week that gives us all of the precise details of what Aaron, the first high priest, is to wear and why. And the question is, what is the Torah trying to achieve here by giving us all of this precision in the way in which Aaron is to be garbed as the high priest? Thoughts?
One thing that comes to mind is in the Talmud's description of what is Simcha, as in what is the joy that we're supposed to perform maybe or feel on a holiday. It talks about how one way that people traditionally expressed joy was wine, and another way was colorful clothing. The women in Bavli wore colorful clothing, and the women in Eretz Yisrael wore fine linen clothing. And I think that the clothing and the wine are both ways of bringing a part of ourselves forward that wasn't necessarily getting to be demonstrated before.
To paraphrase Jackie Kennedy, the difference between style and fashion is just something that sort of exists out there. It's external. Style is something that a person brings to what they wear. And in that sense, it's I think, and Talia is speaking of this, it's deeply self-expressive.
Yeah.
And so that even though we like to say, clothes makes the person, and there's something kind of contrived, maybe even manipulative about that in terms of image shaping and shifting, it's not necessarily true, right? In other words, the person is sort of expressing themselves through that. And so so hopefully in the case of Aaron, there's some self-actualization going on for him through the clothing.
Nice. I also think it's interesting that we use our clothing to convey really strong emotions. One of the first things that happens in Purim's a holiday, the Megillah, the actual text of the Megillah, the scroll of Esther, is when Mordechai hears the fate, the grim fate that Haman has in mind for our people. He tears his clothing. He rends his garment. Very often we see our emotions brought to life in the way in which we are robed. And sometimes if you see somebody actually tear their garment, you recognize that it's quite primal and quite poignant, and sort of the opposite of what we experienced at Purim, where everybody got in their costumes this week and wore and performed in ways in which they were masking perhaps their true selves. I want to wish everybody a sweet Shabbat and hope you had a happy Purim.
Purim, thank you.